Hello there, I am Ginkgo the Silver Fox. I am the Kitsune with silver fur and golden heart. And I am back. Hello, hello. Hello, Dragon. Hello, Mao. Hello, Starfish. Thank you for the lurk and the daily energy. I appreciate it. Hang on, let me. Alright. As you can see, we have handcam tonight. It has been quite a while. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? Hang on, let me put on the background music. It's oddly quiet right now. There we go. Okay, not too loud, just a little bit. There we go. Hello, Kel. Nice to see you. So yeah, what the heck happened to my Fugi all of a sudden? Of course, I take just a couple of days of break from streaming and everything seems to collapse. Okay, well, no big deal. I can fix this. Let me see. I did notice that Fugi did revamp their site, so it's possible that I need to do something about it. Let me see. Okay. Well, the thing is, I normally use my webcam to use my model tracking, but oh, there we go. Yeah, but I wanted to do hand cam, so yeah, I can't use webcam for both things, so instead I'm gonna use my Fuji thing, but yeah, it appears that... Ah, very interesting. Okay, so seems like rather than the chosen avatar, it has decided to default to my Discord avatar, which is actually a GIF, so I am moving. For the first time in a while, my little fox form is moving. Hang on, where do I point towards it? Oh, no. It's everything is mirrored, so I'm a bit confused. Like that. Yeah, this is actually a gift made as a gift from my friend Nana-chan. And yeah. We're gonna keep it like this, because I like how it is. I like how it looks. That way. Yes, that way. Like that. Anyway, so happy to be back. Had a little weekend adventure. Some of you, like you, Dragon, have been there, but yeah, I'm gonna be telling the story about it, and the way that I plan to do it is through my good old friend Canva that I also use for things such as my Japanese lessons. So remember those, what were they called? The Draw My Life videos on YouTube? Well, I got inspired by that, and therefore I will be using Canva to draw, doodle, but because I'm no great artist, I will also use these lovely wait, where's my mouse cursor? There we go. I also prepared some PNGs right here to demonstrate my point, so yeah. Yeah, I've done hand cam a couple of times, like pack openings, or sometimes I just experimented with, you know, having the keyboard cam and like typing and mouse on the side, but yeah, it really has been a while. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I will put away the hand cam for now. I specifically got it to show off some of the merch, but we'll get to that later, so see you soon. There we go. So, where should I begin? Well, I guess it's best if I start with, let's see, Thursday. Wait, that's not what I want. With Thursday. You may remember, those of you who were here, I actually finished stream and I had only a couple of hours left to, you know, leave for my weekend trip. In fact, when I ended the stream, alright, yeah, wait, what does it say? Please visit Reactive to update your OBS source. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna try this one more time. Oh, now the website is saying internal server error, so yeah. I don't see where I put my source. Like the whole website has been revamped right now. Okay, if I go to sources, internal server error. You know what? It seems like it's just coming on and off. It's gonna happen throughout the stream. I apologize for that disruption, but I don't want that to distract me now from my stories. So there we go. So yeah, Thursday I finished stream. I made some good progress on my Pokemon challenge, so very happy about that. I took a shower, double checked everything, make sure I have all my items. I wanted to also visit the website one more time and update the calendar on my phone so I know what to look for. So yeah, that was my next 2 hours, and then I believe on my time I ended around 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. Closer to 11 though. I forgot to double check that, but it's not important. The idea is that I had my airport shuttle arrive at 1 a.m. and thankfully they are a really good company. They call you well in advance and you keep in touch on WhatsApp and whatnot. Is there a WhatsApp element on Canva? Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, we chatted over WhatsApp with the driver, and we made sure that we would be able to find each other. Yeah, 3 hours before you had. Okay, yeah, there you go. You remember better than I do now. Thank you. So yeah, we chatted over WhatsApp with the driver. We wanted to make sure that everything was in order, and sure enough, I was there on time and didn't have to wait for too long, and the van came, picked me up. We were a number of people. Fun fact, it's kind of strange that with this company, like it's a travel agency, but they also do transfers to airports. A local airport here in Romania that's like 60 kilometers from me is the same price as from me to Budapest, and that's only because That's only because through the local airport there's only like private cars, and through Budapest they are picking up different people and you go with a minibus. So yeah, I guess it makes sense in their head. But anyway, I picked Budapest also because it had the more convenient flights. No, nobody else was going to VExpo. Everyone else, in fact, turned out to be going to a different flight. We didn't talk a lot on the bus because it was very late, and I think most of us just fell asleep. The nice thing is that ever since Romania entered the Schengen zone, I didn't have to wait around anymore for the border controls, so it took a significantly... Oh, bye, Fox Avatar. I'll be popping back in soon, I'm sure. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this is technically Friday already, so let me correct that. Because, you know, it's Friday really early. I managed to get a little bit of sleep on the road, but as you can tell, it's not very restful. I was like fading in and out. I was, you know, surprised that I didn't actually wake myself up snoring, because I do snore, but it seems like it only happens if I lie on my back. Apparently if I'm sitting or so, it's not happening. My airways are probably not as blocked, so yeah. I did get some sleep, and actually before I knew it we were arriving at the airport, because, you know, no more interruptions. Maybe we took a break at some point at a gas station, because previous years it did happen, but yeah, before I knew it, we were actually at the airport. That was around, I would say, 4 a.m. local time. So when I go to Hungary, I actually go back in time an hour, because it's in CET, just like Germany, Austria, and most of Central Europe. So yeah, maybe it was actually earlier. Yeah, about a 3-hour journey, exactly. So not so bad. Thankfully, Hungary has a pretty good highway, and yeah, I guess because we were also going at night, we didn't have to worry about too much traffic. So we arrived at the airport. Like I said, I'm not good at drawing, so I'm just gonna put on these different elements onto Canva. I, in fact, did not bring snacks, which I realized was a mistake, but actually, let me think. Yeah, I think I just bought something at the airport, but yeah, while my ride to the airport was smooth, unfortunately there were some complications not soon after. I noticed that they probably recently, because I didn't see it last year, they installed these new well, not self-check-in, they already had that. I think, I forgot the name, but it's something like a bag itself service station. What it meant that you had your... Hang on, I can draw luggage, right? Well, poorly, but yeah, you have your luggage, and I already done the check-in well ahead of time, like 24 hours before the 24 hours before the actual flight, you can already do your check-ins online. And I do recommend for people who are traveling by plane to do that ASAP, because it saves you a lot of trouble. You can of course check in at the airport as well, but then you probably have to queue up. There's also self check-in terminals in probably at the bigger airports, but yeah, if you can do it online ahead of time, I would recommend that you do it. Yeah, so I thought I would try those new machines that allow you to process your baggage. Now, I only had a so-called carry-on bag and a backpack, which would have been fine if I just, you know, carry it with me and then, you know, put it up on the compartment above the seats. The thing is, at least on Lufthansa flights, and I'm pretty sure at other airplanes as well, there's just not enough storage space above the seats for everyone. Like if everyone brings a small luggage, which is up until 8 kilograms with Lufthansa, you end up, you know, running out of space. And therefore Lufthansa came up with a little tactic where they message people ahead of the flight through the email that you use to use the check-in, that you can check in your hand luggage, so your carry-on bag, for free. And the upside is that then you don't have to worry about you know, finding space in the compartment. And the thing is, very well, no need to yeah. I think I've seen TV shows that do that from time to time. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about the whole check in your carry-on bag later. For now, I just wanted to point out the fact that I wanted to check in my carry-on luggage. I've done that before and I think it's worth it. There are pros and cons, of course, which I'll get into later, but I wanted to use the new check-in terminal. And the way it works is that, one, you present your boarding pass, so it's kind of like an ID. I have it on my phone. Usually you can upload like an electronic pass which has the QR code onto Google Wallet. Google Wallet is also where I keep my card, and yeah, it saves paper and saves the trees in consequence, so that's a-okay with me. So the process is, you go to the machine, you scan your boarding pass. Number two, oh, you do that too, Dragon, great. We are in agreement then. So, number two, it prints some kind of sticker for you that you then can put on your luggage, just like how the staff usually do at the airports, at the check-in terminals. And then you go to basically a counter, a kiosk, and then you put your luggage on a belt. It weighs it for you to make sure that it conforms to the weight limit and whatnot, and the size is also not too big. Then you take a scanner and scan the receipt that you sticked onto it, and then the belt will just automatically you know, drop it off for you, right? And you don't need to interact with anyone. Yeah, I was also able to keep it in at during one of my flights, but yeah, so that was the plan. But unfortunately, this is where things started to go downhill. Thankfully, there's staff around. In fact, there are staff around the machines to encourage people to not wait in queue at the regular counters, but you know, make use of the machines. And they also are there to assist people who are having trouble. And I thought I would be able to manage on my own, but the moment I scanned my boarding pass, it returned an error. Invalid. Sorry, I know my writing is not the best, but yeah. It returned an error, like it said invalid boarding pass, and I was baffled because I thought I did everything right. I didn't get any notifications, or maybe I just didn't check often enough, but yeah, the guy next to me said, okay, try again. Didn't work either, so yeah, he took my... I think he actually took my phone because my boarding pass was on it. He took my phone quickly to the nearby counter to check with another staff member so they can, you know, look into the computer, and he came back a couple of seconds later, and he said, well, we found out why it wasn't accepted. It's because my flight has changed. So the original plan was for me to go from Budapest to Munich in Germany, and I would have about a 1 hour 35 minute layover. Okay, that's way too ugly to keep. And then I would have my second flight to Birmingham. I'm gonna put in BHX because I think that's the code for the airport. Yeah, I wouldn't say scary, but worrisome. I mean, the worst part was yet to arrive because he told me that my flight to Munich is... I didn't say it was cancelled. I found that later through my phone notification from Lufthansa. He just said that I have been redirected. Well, I have been redirected because the flight was cancelled. So the new itinerary was from Budapest to Frankfurt. EGBB also works, okay. And from there on to Frankfurt. Sounds simple enough. I was rebooked, I didn't have to pay anything extra. You know, that's like the minimum courtesy when your flight gets cancelled. Big problem was when he said that the next flight from Frankfurt to Birmingham is at this time, 4 p.m. And I would arrive in Frankfurt around, yeah, when Dragon said by the time, around the time he was boarding, I believe 8 a.m. So that meant that I had, actually it may have been earlier than 60, but the idea is that my layover just got extended by a lot. And yeah, that wouldn't have been that big of a problem if not for the fact that we agreed to meet up with everyone around 12 p.m. and we made plans that before the whole VExpo event, yeah, exactly, now I was just getting to that. Yeah, so we agreed to meet up at 12, and I think I talked about it on my Pokemon stream. Reservations have been made so that we could go golfing. Let me see if I can imagine that's a golf ball. But yeah, there was no way I was gonna make it. I messaged everyone on Discord. Hopefully I didn't wake up everyone in their sleep, but you know, I just had to, you know, let everyone know that I wasn't gonna make it. Like, I tried out on the outside I tried to keep calm, but on the inside I was definitely more like this. And let's add a tear there as well, like crying internally. Yeah, Dragon was awake. The rest, well, I believe Raven responded. So yeah, I was displeased to say the least, because I was gonna miss a birthday celebration of a friend of mine, Yuri. If you don't know, didn't know, it was her birthday on Friday, and yeah, not only that, I had basically nothing to do for many hours at the airport, other than, you know, eat, walk around, take a nap, which I did, but yeah, not exactly how I was planning my Friday for sure. Oh, welcome back, Foxkit, here to comfort me. But yeah, wasn't happy about it, and I planned to, I haven't done that yet, I just haven't gotten around it because I've just been back to work ever since I came back home. But I do plan, I know I have the rights to file in for some kind of monetary compensation, because the stress that this has caused me, I missed out on a friend's birthday and pretty much ruined almost my entire day. And yeah, I know it's nobody's fault at Budapest airport, or maybe not specific the people running the flight. I think I can blame Lufthansa though, because, you know, they're the ones who canceled my flight to Munich. But yeah, not getting the flight I paid for, exactly. I keep getting sometimes these emails that, you know, missed flight or cancelled flight. Did you know you have, within the past 6 months, did you know that you have the right for monetary compensation? So yeah, I will look into that probably during the weekend, but for now, I'm just gonna reminisce about the trip and, you know, enjoy my life and get back on the grind. So yeah, while, let me see, can I do the selection like this? So while everyone was having fun at golf, I was just at another airport waiting for my flight, you know, praying that nothing else goes wrong. And let's actually switch to page 2 here, because this is where I prepared all sorts of pictures, and why are some not working anymore? What the heck? Okay. I think it's because I copy-pasted straight from Discord and I didn't properly upload them, and maybe that... Let me see if I refresh. Does that help in any way? Okay, I think that brought it back. Yes, okay. So yeah, thanks to Rachel and the others, I did actually... Let me see if we can move up there. I did actually get some pictures of the place, like this is what it looked like. Seemed like a rather cozy place. This is Yuri and Neo doing their thing, golfing. I was given permission to post pictures of them as long as I censored their faces. So yeah, that's what I did. I like that this course has like the Mario theme with the pipes, and I'm not sure what kind of golf course Yuri is doing, but I see a lot of plushies behind bars. So yeah. I'm sure if Yuri did say that she is planning to also do a stream about claw machine. Oh, that's right, that's right. I now see the controls over here. You're correct. But yeah, I'm sure Dragon can tell you more about that Friday experience, and Yuri did say that maybe she will also do a stream to yap about VExpo, so you know she can fill in the blanks there. I'm afraid my Friday story, yeah, it's mostly airports, nothing very interesting going on. Although I just remember that there was a funny little part back at Budapest airport. Back at the automated machines for the baggage drop-off, I saw one guy who was struggling. Like he just put up his luggage at the belt, but nothing. He didn't know how to scan it, and I noticed that he didn't even have the sticker on his bag, so to make sure that there's no congestion behind him, I tried to help him, I tried to explain it to him, but he did speak a little bit of English, but I don't know, he didn't seem to be able to comprehend. And you know, I then moved away from him. I saw that he was talking to the staff there, eventually like yelling over to another counter, and they tried to explain to him what to do, and eventually I see that one of the clerks, they get on the phone, and the guy then goes over to him like, okay, what do I do? And yeah, he just tells him, just gives him the hand signal to, you know, wait a minute, someone will arrive soon. And I didn't check in on him for a while until after I drop off my luggage, and after learning that my flight has been cancelled, I passed by the counter where he was, and I noticed that there were two very large security people there. Let me see which would fit it the most. Okay. There was one older guy and one really buff guy, but from what I've caught on from the conversation is that well, I wasn't the one being harassed. Let me put up a drunk guy, because it turned out that the guy was drunk. I didn't smell any alcohol on him, but it is possible that he was under the influence. Like, I just heard him asking, who are you guys? And they explained, we are security, and what are they doing here? And they said, well, they are here because you're drunk, sir, because you have been explained multiple times what you need to do, but you don't seem to be doing any of it. And they probably also noticed how he was probably a bit wobbly and, you know, just unfocused. And looking back at it, like, from his facial expressions, I could have probably told that he was drunk, but he wasn't like the kind of drunk that, you know, can't stand on his legs. But yeah, I had to move away anyway, because, you know, I dropped off my luggage, I wanted to go through the security check and, you know, go to my gate to wait for my flight. Speaking of your flight at 8 a.m. Dragon, I did actually look up online if there were perhaps any alternatives to the very late 4 p.m. flight, and I did ask at the counter, at the info counter, or rather than not info counter, more like the gate at which or the counter where the gate was, and I asked them if there's any chance I could perhaps get on the 8 a.m. flight, because, you know, my flight is from 6 a.m. and maybe I can make it if the flight is like 1 hour. But she said, yeah, there's no way, my flight is more like 1 hour and 50 minutes. Even if I arrive early, there's no way I can make the connection. So yeah, I guess I thought my flight would be more like an hour because to Munich it's a bit of a shorter flight than to Frankfurt. But yeah, we might have been on the same flight if I had somehow arrived earlier to Frankfurt. But yeah, I would have been on the same flight as Dragon if I could have arrived earlier. But yeah, I guess it just wasn't meant to be. But yeah. I don't know what happened to the guy. Hopefully things didn't get violent or anything, but I don't think he got on his flight. Maybe, hopefully, you know, they were able to escort him away from the check-in counters peacefully, but you never know. Anyway, that's it for that story. Probably not that day, yeah. Would have been funny if it turned out that he was supposed to be on my flight, because I can only imagine what kind of shenanigans he would have been up to if he was allowed to go up on it. But yeah, drink responsibly. That's my lesson here. Anyway, yeah. So eventually, I do arrive in Birmingham. Several hours later, one eternity later. There's always the next time, yeah, exactly. And thankfully, no further issues at the airport. I did ask back in Frankfurt just to be extra sure if my luggage, because I have a long layover, I wanted to make sure that my luggage is still on track and it's gonna be automatically loaded onto the next flight to Birmingham. You know what? Strangely enough, there wasn't a noisy kid this time. At least nothing that I can remember. Then again, it was a fairly short flight, less than 2 hours, and I fell asleep for most of it because, you know, I was tired both physically and emotionally from everything that has happened. So yeah, if there was a kid, a noisy kid, I probably missed it. But yeah, I arrived eventually at Birmingham. Also, they checked my passport and whether I had the ETA already in Frankfurt. And everything was okay. I didn't need to show proof that I indeed paid for the ETA. The lady just checked the system, and interestingly enough, the person before me did have to provide their ETA reference number, but I didn't. She said, it's attached to this passport, we can see it, everything is good. And she did some kind of like, I've seen something similar at the US border control. I don't know if they put anything like that on your boarding pass, Dragon, but she put like this kind of stamp with like 3 circles on it, and she said, when we begin boarding, you don't need to, yeah, she stamped it. Like, you don't need to show me your passport, just show me your boarding pass with this symbol and it will be good. And sure enough, that's exactly how it happened once we began boarding. And yeah, yeah, I got on the plane, fell asleep for a while. I missed on the out on the free chocolate, I think, either on the flight to Frankfurt or flight to Birmingham, because I think I fell asleep on both of them. And one of the nice things about Lufthansa is that they give you free chocolate, but you know, you have to be awake for it because the stewardess goes around the aisle, and you know, people can take it from the basket if they want to. But yeah, if you're asleep, if you snooze, you lose, as they call it. But it's okay. I caught it at least on 2 occasions, so I'm not too sad about that. Anyway, I had bigger worries than missing out on chocolates, so yeah. Anyway, Before I start talking about the rest of the day on Friday, let me just go on a quick tangent here on the airports when it comes to luggage. Let's put here pros. Pros and cons of dropping off your carry-on baggage, your carry-on baggage at the baggage drop-off, which means that your carry-on baggage will actually be loaded onto the plane cabin, just like how a large luggage would be dropped off there. Pros. If you don't space, I'm just gonna put it down space. Don't need to worry about cargo hold. Thank you, Mao. So you don't need to worry about finding space above your seat. I did actually have to, because I think when I went back from Birmingham to Frankfurt, actually did have, like, I intentionally had my flight from Birmingham to Frankfurt and then Frankfurt Budapest on the way back. But yes, well, good idea if you actually have enough space there. But yeah, smaller baggages like backpack can fit under the seat in front of you, but and they do remind you in the announcements that you can put it there as well, except if you're in the aisle next to the emergency exit, then you're not allowed any luggage in front of you. Like, that needs to be kept as clear as possible. But anyway, advantage is space. Con, a clear disadvantage is that normally when you have only the carry-on baggage, you know, you just take your bag, disembark from the airplane and go on your merry way. But if you have it loaded into the cargo hold, then you have to wait for it to be offloaded and then brought to the belt, and then, you know, wait for your luggage to come around, which can add about 15 minutes on average to your time at the airport, which you could use to, you know, leave the airport and be on your way to the hotel. So yeah, that is, I think, a significant con. And yeah, on the other hand, if you, let's say, don't yeah, it depends, but in my experience 15 minutes is on average. So I'm gonna put here drop off. So if you drop it off, be put on the cargo bay, then yeah, these are the pros and these are the cons. Carry on. Actually, I'm not gonna do it again. I'm just gonna erase and okay, carry-on pros. Time. You save some time by, you know, not having to wait for your luggage to be offloaded and to make it to the belt, and from belt to you. You just take your luggage from the compartment above you and be on your merry way. Cons. Space. You can run out of space and if you actually run out of space and they are forced to bring it to the cargo hold anyway, then you might be charged for it, and you could add a 15, at least that's how the pilot said it, that could add a 15-minute delay again for the flight departure. So in that case, you not only waste your time, but everyone else's time as well. So I would say that's a big con. And the thing is, my recommendation here, to take off from all of this, if you only have carry-on luggage, I would say look at in which group you are boarding. Because if you... Fast way to get hated, yes. If you're in one of the last groups to board, and I just happen to be in group 4 or group 5, one of the last people to board on the plane, then chances are that you ran out of space, or almost ran out of space. And that was my experience in one of the flights, where I fortunately still found space in the compartments above, but also they... it was a bit further away from my seat, so that made both embarking and disembarking a bit more complicated. However, if you have both a cabin bag and a carry-on bag, you might as well just drop both off at the cabin, because the weight overall will be the same and saves you some time, and you would have to wait at the belt anyway. However, if you only have a carry-on bag and you're among the first people to board, then you probably just should bring it up with you, put the bigger bag up in the compartment above you, and the smaller bag on like the backpack or personal bag, whatever, a laptop bag under the seat in front of you, and yeah, the space is all yours. Because if you are sure that there's enough space, then why make that personal sacrifice of adding another 15 minutes to your time to wait for your luggage if you would have had plenty of space? Have someone else do it. It's just my opinion of it. You do however you want to do your flights, but this is my takeaway from it. It all depends, I guess, how much luggage you have, and also how soon you are boarding the plane, right? If you only have carry-on and you're boarding the plane among the first couple of groups, then I say take the risk, bring your carry-on actually with you, and don't complicate things. However, if you are among the last people to board, and even if you only have a carry-on baggage, just drop it off, have it brought to the cabin, and you save yourself and everyone else some unnecessary stress. Yeah, exactly. That was just my side tangent. I know it's not important to my whole VExpo talk, but maybe it can come in handy to someone one day. Anyway, I wanted to erase this right here. So I finally arrived in Birmingham, and yeah, I messaged everyone once I was out of the airport and through security, and well, actually I didn't have to go to security, I just had to go through baggage claim and yeah, then exit the airport. And I still remembered my way from last year. At Birmingham Airport there is a thing called the SkyTrain. Of course, now you may be familiar with it. Let's see, there's no Why do I get these images for SkyTrain? Oh, there we go. I guess I typed something in wrong, but yeah. You have this SkyTrain which takes you to... Like, it's automated and comes every couple of minutes, and it takes you pretty much right in front of NEC, before the Birmingham train station. Yeah, from there on you can also take a pretty short walk to the Ibis Styles Hotel, where both myself and the rest of the gang, like, we of course talked beforehand, and we arranged it so that all of us are lodged at the same hotel. You know, makes things much easier. And Ibis Styles is also very very conveniently located. Let me try to draw you a picture of it. Like, you have, imagine that this is Birmingham Airport. NEC is connected to it like this. You take the SkyTrain, or you can just walk. And the hotel is, I would say, maybe I'm misremembering it, approximately over here. So yeah, within walking distance, and there are clear signs. Actually, like, when you exit the main NEC building, it's like you go through... Dragon said it as well, it kind of reminds you of a so-called movie studio. Like, you see some... I don't know what those were actually, like garages and other places. Like, there's not a lot of traffic, but basically it eventually leads you to the hotel, and then yeah, you can walk back to the NEC easily. So yeah, at this point, when I messaged them that I have arrived, Yuri told me that they are actually done with their little excursion to the city proper. They're done with golf. They also went shopping, I believe, or visited a couple of places, but you know, Yuri and Dragon can tell you more about that part. And they were gonna be back, and she suggested that we meet up at the Birmingham train station, which is like right at the beginning of the NEC building. And yeah, I told them, okay, let me check in at my hotel, freshen up a little bit, because, you know, I was in the same clothes for a while, and I desperately needed a change, and, you know, go to the bathroom and all that. And yeah, I tried to be as quick as possible. Check-in went smoothly. They found me in the system. Traveled Earth, yeah. They found me in the system. I got my card, and funny thing is, everyone else seemed to have gotten a room on the second floor, while... Wait, where was the... There we go. Everyone seemed to have gotten a room on the second floor. I was the only one who got a room on the third floor, so we were this close to all being on the same floor. But, you know, no big deal. We could always meet up in the lobby and at the restaurant, so yeah. It was convenient for everyone to be on the same floor with Dragon, but I'll talk about that a bit later. So yeah, I did actually have some trouble finding my room, because, you know, being tired and all, I misread the card that I would be in room 308. And, you know, I followed the signs to rooms 300 to 310 or something, and I'm perplexed. I see that like the corridor is being worked on, the room doors seem to be open, like they're renovating that whole area, and I'm like, wait, do I really have a room here? And then I check my card again, and it turns out, oh, I'm actually in room 348. So yeah, I had to exit that area quickly. There were no workers there because, you know, it was late afternoon on a Friday, so probably they all went home already, but yeah, thankfully it wasn't that big of a walk, but yeah, I was, in numbers, it was, I was ways off, and yeah, eventually I found my room. Card worked because I have experiences in hotels where the key card just doesn't work for some reason, gets demagnetized, or there's a problem in the system, and I have to go back to the reception and they have to give me a new card. But sometimes even I think the receptionist or the bellhops I think they are called, they have to go back with me to verify and try their own card, and then I get the key later. But anyway, none of that this time. Thankfully, keycard worked all throughout my stay, so good job on that, IB Styles. So yeah, I go into my room, drop off my luggage, have a change of clothes. Bellboys. Yeah, bellboys, I think it sounds about right. So yeah, have a change of clothes, freshen up, go to the toilet, and message everyone that I'm on my way. And at that point they already arrived at the train station. I think it's time I removed the airport. By the way, what do you think about this show and tell style that I'm doing? I know it's not the most professional or dynamic, but you know, it's the first time I'm doing something like this, so I'm just trying my best. Let's see, train station. There we go. So yeah, we didn't actually meet at the. We didn't actually meet at the train station, but like outside of it, like you actually exit the gates and there's a subways, and we met, like we ate at that subway before, so Yuri suggested that we meet all there, and I go there. I arrive at the subway, but I don't see anyone, and I just look around, and sure enough, I think they just got up and went for a little walk. Sure enough, all of them arrived there to greet me, and we're all happy because we had no time to waste. This was around, I think, I don't know if Dragonist didn't check. He may be able to. Oh, Starbucks, okay. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe you did say we should meet at Starbucks and not the other place, not at Subway, but anyway, the important thing is that we met up. This was already at, I would say, 6:30 p.m. maybe, and the batch pickup on Friday was up until 7:30. So this is actually a term that I learned from Yuri. Like, when in Hungarian, and also I confirmed with Dragon in German, when you say half and then the hour, it means, like, when we say 6:30 in Hungarian and German, that means 6:30, like halfway there to 7. But apparently, when in English, when you say 6:30, that means it's actually 30. I guess it's a more casual way of saying half past. Just say half. 7. So yeah, it took me some time to get used to, but I did eventually. Anyway, this is the time up until which we were allowed to pick up the badges. So since we were at a convenient location, we went ahead and started our walk to the NEC hall. Now the VExpo was at hall 10. Yeah, it's half 7. Alright, thank you for confirming now. Yeah. So the VExpo was at NEC hall 10, and people were already lining up for the pickup. And you also gotta keep in mind that I believe at 8 there was the opening concert, and yeah, I guess that's why the badge pickup would have normally stopped at 7:30, but there were a lot of people. Like, imagine something like this, okay? So these were the kiosks at which we could pick up our tickets. The entrance to hall 10 was somewhere around here. We arrived from this direction. Let me put us over here. We arrived from this direction, and people were lining up. Let me use the marker for this. Okay, bigger size, please. There we go. People were lining up like... Actually, let me think. Was it like that, or... No. It was more like this. Like, it was actually snaking along. Like, all the way to the back. So we arrived at the end of the line over here. Now, Neo and Yuri, I put it in the wrong order. Neo and Yuri, they were actually... quarter to 8. Okay, thank you for the explanation. Now, Neo and Yuri, they got Akatsupa tickets, so they got priority in the queues, so they had a whole different queue compared to the rest of us, and could in theory get, and not just in theory, in practice they could get their badge and, more importantly, the entrance tickets to the concerts earlier than us, earlier than the rest of us. Yeah, they got the VIP tickets. I mean, fair enough. The idea is that I was thinking, if I didn't have to spend so much on getting to Birmingham, I probably would have gotten a VIP ticket myself, because, you know, priority in queues plus extra goodies, I think it's worth it. And your badge was also a different color, like a nice red color. Just because, you know, Aka is red in English. Bad memories in that queue. Yeah, like it was a mess, because it was moving very slowly and people were getting reorganized. Like, we were brought in different spots, and you know, the cherry on top is that scanners weren't working, so it was going pretty slowly. Like, you had to look up your user name in the Concat website, like it was going through the whole Concat website, the whole registration and everything. So you had to have your user ID prepared and tell it to them so they can look you up in the system and give you your badge and whatever tickets you have picked up. Now, and of course they had to give priority to the people who were also going for the concert. And as it so happens, Yuri and Neo were also the only ones from our group who got tickets into the concert, because the like the intro concert on Friday, was it called intro concert? I think it was. I'm just gonna call it intro concert. That's how I remember it. It was for free, but there were limited tickets, and you had to be really fast to pick it up. And apparently, they sold out pretty fast. So sadly, none of the rest of us, Raven, Rachel, Dragon, or me, got tickets for it. But thankfully, the other this free concert was also broadcast live on stream. 2 out of 6, not bad odds. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we could watch it live. So anyway, the plan was that we already discussed this. No matter how long it would take to get through the queue, Yuri and Neo will go into the concert, and once we have our badges, we go back to the hotel or somewhere at another bar. But we agreed on the hotel later on. We put a big H over here for hotel. We would go back to the hotel and, you know, sit at the bar. I ordered some kind of cider, if I remember correctly, and that's also where Raven, the ever helpful and kind, helped me out with my cosplay, made some last minute adjustment helipad. I think then I would also have a circle around the H if it were a helipad. But anyway, Raven, because he knows how to saw, you know, needle and thread. He helped me attach the ears to my head for my cosplay, because I just couldn't get it done. I think I mentioned it on stream before that I couldn't get it done with the glue that I had, and I was worried about getting a stronger, like industrial strength glue, because I wanted to be able to remove the ears later without damaging it too much. But yeah, Raven was able to, while we were sitting at the bar, he was able to stitch it on, and yeah. So, okay, so. Am I doing it right? Yeah, so yeah, thank you, Raven. I had ears on my on the brim of my head thanks to him, so ever grateful. He said he would have brought a sewing kit anyway, you know, for emergencies, because, you know, his fiancée Neo was also cosplaying, as was Yuri, as was Rachel, so he wanted to be prepared in case there are any emergency repairs, exactly. So yeah, we were also talking, and we were watching the live stream. I believe I have some pictures and videos of the concert from around that time, thanks to Rachel. And actually, no, Rachel wasn't there, thanks to Yuri probably and Neo. Let me see, which ones are those? I believe I should have properly categorized, but oh well. I believe, yeah, these are all from the first concert on Friday. Hang on, let me mute the background music for this. Just for a moment. There we go. Yeah, there are some Itashas, we're gonna get that later. Yeah, actually sang this song on karaoke before. Yeah. Now the original plan was for Yuri and Neo to only stay for a bit of the concert until they saw all the people they wanted to see, but the order of appearance was somewhat different than it we were led to believe from the announcement, and they ended up staying the whole concert because the last person performing was Matara Khan.
All the things you do. Because the drugs never work, they're gonna give you a smirk. Cause they got methods of keeping you clean. They gonna rip up your head, your aspirations to shreds. Another cog in the murder machine. They say, teenagers got the liberty.
Yeah. You can probably just watch the live stream for the whole thing because it should be on VExpo's YouTube and Twitch as well. I think they saved the VOD of it. But yeah, this is more raw. And this was the 2.5 idol from Japan who has both VTuber model, but she was also performing in person on the stage. I forgot her name. Okay, that was a brief clip of it, but yeah. Like I said, if you want to see the whole thing, you can check out the VOD from the official VExpo channel. But yeah. So the four of us who were at the bar drinking and talking, watching the live stream, I ended up leaving early with heavy heart, but others have pointed out that I look really tired. And well, if you think about it, I barely slept the night before, and throughout most of the day, I was on the road. So yeah, I wanted to, but I just couldn't wait for because it was already around midnight, if I'm not mistaken, and I couldn't wait for Neo and Yuri to get back. And the others didn't hold it against me. In fact, they said it's okay if I gonna go to my room. So yeah, after finishing the drink and our talk, and yeah, I had my hat as well. I went to, let me zoom in again and draw those Z's. I went to bed again. I was awake long enough to see the Discord group chat messages that they were back on their way, and they asked the others to get Neo and Yuri asked the others to get them a drink. I believe they got a bud in the end. But yeah, I feel bad because, not only did I miss hanging out with everyone for the golf and drinks for Yuri's birthday, I also missed out on hanging out with everyone later on. Actually, I don't know. How much longer did you guys? I think I forgot to ask back then. How much longer did you stay up, Dragon, for on Friday after Neo and Yuri joined us again? Like I think I fell asleep pretty fast. It wasn't 1 a.m. by the time I was asleep. It was maybe 30 to 60 minutes. All right, so yeah. I mean, to be fair, we had to be up not terribly early, but let me erase this because now we are starting to talk going to Saturday. Also, holy crap. Almost 1.5 hours, and I just barely got to the actual day of the con when it like truly began. So yeah, we're at Saturday. The entrance to like the time at which they let you into the con was 10:30 for the Akatsupas. Let me just put a nice red dot here. There you go. And at 11 for everyone else. So we had like a half an hour head start, and of course a different queue if you had the VIP ticket. Don't push the button. I'll try to resist the urge, but it will be tough. So yeah, anyway, because we were our hotel was at a very convenient location, like I would say you can make it in, I mean, you do have to walk a little bit to any NEC, and then in NEC I would say it's about 15 minutes to get from the hotel to, what am I doing with my M's? I think I'm putting an extra, but anyway, about 15 minutes walk to get from your hotel to the queues at NEC. So yeah, we queued up. I think it's a good thing. Like you can still pick up your badges on Saturday or Sunday if you got a ticket just for one of those days. But I think it's a good thing that we waited that extra time on Friday so we don't have to queue up twice on Saturday. Actually, if I remember correctly, last year, wait, was I the only one? Because if I look back at it, last year I arrived again very late on Friday and I missed the opening concert. Yeah, that's I think the official name. I missed the opening concert, and I just met up with Neo and Yuri later at the hotel. And I think they already picked up their badges, but I had to still queue up on Saturday, which wasn't that bad, but yeah, the time you queue up for badge pickup is, time you lose queuing up for the entrance to the con itself. And put the music back on. And yeah, might be at the very back of the queue. But yeah, all went pretty well. We got our badges. Actually, let me turn back the hand cam for a bit, because I can show you what that looks like. Last year we got armbands, but this year we had this badge that you could like hang around your neck. So you got this, and you got a sticker with your name and the like you could pick a funny whatever subtitle you wanted below your name, and then you stick that on to the bottom end so they can see your name on it. And yeah, not too old for this. I thought it would be funny, and I didn't realize that on the website, but apparently my name is a bit too long and it couldn't quite fit the G and the X at the sides, but I think the important part was this number, because whenever they checked your badge, they just held up their phone, scanned it, and if it showed like a green check mark, everything was fine. So yeah, but you did need to scan your badge whenever you entered or exited the grounds of the convention. for security reasons, I imagine. So yeah, it has like it says if it's a weekend ticket, it says weekend. If it was only Saturday or Sunday, it will probably say Saturday and Sunday. And this whole part here is red if you have an Akasupa ticket. Like I saw that on Neo's and Yuri's badge as well. I remember Raven's subtitle was first Neo's subtitle was #1 best boy, and Raven put in #1 best boys, #1 best boy, which is very cute and also funny. I believe Dragon, you were emotional support Dragon. Yuri was struggling VTuber. And Rachel also had something funny with pirate radio but legal, because she was Rachel radio DJ, and then the title under it was it escapes me, but it was something on the lines of pirate radio but legal. Not sure what exactly that means, but you know, Rachel probably knew it. These are like these banner thingies that you could stick on. Like you could find all sorts of this stuff at the convention. Like there's a sticky part, and then like it's fabric. And of course I had to put one for my Oshi Lumi. And this one I just picked up at one of the concept, like they handed them out. I'm not sure what this whole Taiga, Faya, Saiba, Faiba, Daiba, Vaiba, Jaja supposed to mean, but I like the energy of it, so I just, you know, attached it. Oh, and also, I showed it briefly on the back. You can see that there are these QR codes for the hall map and schedule to check on your phone, and conveniently you also have the opening hours each day, and also the closing hours. Like on Saturday it closed at 8:30 and at 6 for Sunday. And I haven't actually read. Oh, there's a message here at the bottom. Keep me safe. This badge is your key to VExpo. Please don't lose it. Curious about the fine print? Check out our terms and conditions online at vexpo.co.uk. So yeah. If you lost this, you were in trouble. I remember last year we had like a wristband instead of a badge like this, but I think a badge works best. And you know, it can get heavy if you attach a lot of charms to it like I did. I got this charm at one of the artist booths of Vestia Zeta, my other Oshi from Hololive. Let me see if the camera is willing to focus on it. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Alright. Less easier to lose, I think, that the badges are, yeah. So yeah, my first demonstration of merch, and the other one is a pixel charm of Nene Amano, a VTuber that I actually went to a meet and greet with, but more on that later. And the other thing that's attached to it is the like armband thingy. They said they can just put it on, we don't, and I think it's a better solution. The 18 plus confirmation so that you can enter the 18 plus area, because for the first time, it wasn't a thing last year, but this year there was an 18 plus section and you had to like show your ID, and then they give you this armband and you could have it around your neck, and yeah, you could then enter the 18 plus area without worry. So yeah, VExpo 2025 badge. Also, fun fact, at some point Lumi was live streaming, walking around the con, and we ran into each other, and she asked me, do I want to say hi to chat? And I did say hi, and I showed that, hey, I'm represent. So yeah, unofficial collab with Lumi in a way. But yeah, like it didn't show my face. I think it just showed my. Actually, I have to look back on the stream because I'm not sure. But yeah, I was briefly on the Lumi stream. Okay, let me turn that off for now. So yeah, Yuri and Neo, just like on Friday, got in first because they are Akasupas and they were able to get in early. There was, however, a little misunderstanding. They thought that the panel that they wanted to go to was from 11 and they immediately just bolted to it to queue up for it, but they were confused that people were not if I'm in a room with when no one knows I'm infected. Yeah, I know that meme. But yeah, they were confused that no one was apparently lining up for the panel, and then we clarified in chat that actually the Doki Bird, hang on, I have her here somewhere. The Doki Bird Q&A panel actually started at 11:30, so there was actually plenty of time. One of the things that we absolutely wanted to make sure we do was the maid cafe, and this year they had an option for pre-booking, but we decided to actually book for Sunday because there's just a lot of events on Saturday, and there probably wouldn't have been time for that, and probably less people on Sunday as well. Probably there were less people, but still a lot of people. So we checked if maybe we could, like, hang on, let me backtrack a bit. I believe the original plan was us to book for Saturday, but then the idea started going around, maybe we should actually book for Sunday. So because Neo and Hugh, another advantage of being an Akasupa is that the pre-booking reservations for the maid cafe actually start at 10:30 because the maid cafe opens at 11 when the con opens as well. And yeah, they just ended up going to the artist alley for a while until eventually we got in as well. And I think I have a picture here that shows just how big of a crowd and, you know, around the entrance area. Let me see. Yeah, so this is just us people in the queue waiting to get inside. See if I can maybe zoom in a bit more. So you had a whole bunch of a kiosk in the beginning. Some of them are like sponsored from different groups, and there was in fact a food and bar place which we went to only once, I believe, and only because Subway had too long of a queue. But yeah, it was very convenient. Like it was, yeah, we went there on Sunday. You're correct, Dragon. But yeah, before the food place, there was actually the Itasha area. Where is that? And myself and others took pictures there too. There's the Ina Itasha, Ina in a car. Yeah, it was good food. Actually, I think only Rachel ate at this place. and I'll explain later why. But the maid cafe was good. But that was one of the last activities on Sunday, so I'll talk about that later. So yeah, here's the Ina Itasha. I saw this for the first time at Dokomi like a year ago, maybe? Time to think, because I saw it last year at VExpo, but I know that before VExpo I went to Dokomi and TwitchCon too. I'm pretty sure I saw the exact same car at Dokomi as well. And then there was an Iris Itasha, and of course you can't forget about Doki. And Neo with his Doki backpack had to of course pose in front of it. And then there's of course the cardboard cutout of Doki. And I love that there's Doki Dakimakura at the seat as well. Of course the OG Doki model. Here you can see the cardboard cutout better, and this is another angle of the Doki Bird mobile. Yes, of course, Neo's posing with Doki Bird model. And here you can already see Neo cosplaying Gigi. But yeah, we'll see more cosplay pictures later on. Let me get back to stories about the con. So once we get in, the first thing that most of us went for, let me group us together for a sec. Let me make some room here. These are not necessary anymore, I think. Just do this, right? Yes, okay. Okay, so all of us got in, and at the main stage, one of the biggest opening events was the Doki Bird Q&A, and Neo and Yuri really wanted to go to that. I think Rachel, Dragon, and Raven pretty much just wanted to tag along, but I decided to not go to the panel myself. Might be a weird decision, but you know, the thing is, even though we went to the con together, we agreed that we didn't need to stick together all the time. Like, there may be activities and events. The thing with these cons is that there are several, like the schedule looks something like this. Sadly, you will have overlaps of different events, and while I admire Doki and I wanted to hang out as much as possible with the gang, especially after missing out on so much yesterday, I decided to not go to the panel but catch up with them later. So while they went to the Doki Bird Q&A, I was just wandering around the con, looking at some of the different vendors, trying to get my bearings, and I went to panel room 1. Which was like this little area with a big screen, of course smaller than the other stages, and yeah, exactly. And I thought that would be the Wotage. I will explain what Wotage is later. I thought that would be the place for the Wotage workshop, but it ended up not being the case, and I ended up actually on a panel with a Japanese artist and VTuber. Her name is Ayami Sensei. That's her, or at least one of her official models. And well, she's known for many things, but most recently, Ayami is the artist mom of Made Mint, who had quite a prominent presence at the con because she, like, Ayami Sensei had like a whole booth with merch, not just about Mint Phantom, but others as well, and there was a Made Cafe collaboration with Made Mint. So I really like watching artists do work in progress. Like sometimes I'm happy to just lurk in streams and see the artists do their own thing. And Ayami Sensei is one of those who makes her own models as well. And not only is she responsible for the art for Made Mint's latest model and also latest outfit, but she also worked with Blue Archive, a game that I like very much, and thankfully had an update recently, and I was happily playing it. And if I wouldn't do that, wouldn't be doing this, I would probably play the latest Blue Archive update. But she is also the one who drew a character named Shimiko. And she's also the artist mom of Yozora Mel, a now, well, I'm gonna be nice and say retired rather than terminated Hololive Japan VTuber. And she did travel all the way to the UK for this event. Like, she was there at the booth in person during certain times to do signings. I did see her, but I ended up not purchasing anything from them. But I was happy with what I got from this panel event that I wandered into accidentally. Funny story, Ayami Sensei was actually late. Like, we waited almost. It was supposed to begin at 11:30, just like Doki Bird's panel, but we're not waiting almost another half an hour for it to begin. So I actually had to walk out early, but I was there long enough, and it was basically a chill panel where she was live streaming her working on another art form in Phantom, and she was answering questions during it. And there was an interpreter there in the panel room with us who spoke Japanese. Like, I believe he was actually a Japanese person who just knew very good English, and people could raise their hands, ask questions, and ask questions, you know, and she would answer them, and the interpreter would translate for her, or you know, translate for us for whatever she answered. Now, Ayami does speak a little bit of English, and sometimes she would answer us back in English without needing the translator. Yeah, it was like a nice panel, and I saw that there was this girl in front of me who was also an artist, and she made doodles for the people. Just draw these hats here. Demonstrate that there was a crowd. Ego, not much Jozu, yeah. So there was this girl who was an artist, and she had her tablet with her and a sketchbook, and she made some free sketches for the people sitting next to her. Very nice of her. You know, kill the time while we were waiting. before I actually went to the panel, now I remember, I actually picked up my merch that I pre-ordered, which I will show off in a second, but let me finish the story about this panel. So, in the beginning so poor Ayami was late and trying to work out tech issues. Like, of course, stream is nothing without scuff, and when she started, she was muted. We could not hear her. She actually like had her canvas on which she was doing her art, and she wrote, "Can you hear me?" Not like this. Okay, I'm not gonna write it out to waste time, but she wrote down, "Can you hear me?" And we signaled, "We cannot." And poor girl, she just wrote down like this, "No." And I think she made a sad face as well. And after a minute or two, she figured it out, and she was able to get it working. And but there was one other point where I think she was like on a Discord call and live streaming through Discord, and yeah, exactly, Dragon. Like, there were many events that were delayed or postponed to the next day. Yeah, I think it's just something you need to expect at this point, and live with, and, you know, adapt, improvise. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, at some point she, instead of showing what she was drawing, she was showing her Discord, she was showing her VTube studio, and she was like, no. And yeah, the interpreter saying, "Look away, everyone, look away. Just let me talk to you guys for a bit." And yeah, I did actually look away, you know, to make sure to not stress her out, and I think many others looked away as well. And yeah, she eventually went back on track. But yeah, it was pretty much a Q&A while watching her draw. That's the gist of it. And I did manage to ask a question as well. And I remember when Mint revealed her latest model, she did in fact reference Blue Archive as well, that she is now sisters with the Blue Archive character because they have the same mother. And so my question was actually related to Blue Archive. I said that, okay, Mint did say, like Ayami did talk about Mint a lot in the beginning, and a lot of the questions was about Mint, and she was happy that we knew about Mint in the first place. So yeah, I wanted to ask if she knows if there's any more, like, maybe I wanted to get some juicy gossip if there were any more new art, if she's planning to do more art about Shimiko, the Blue Archive character, in the future. Like, maybe there's gonna be new outfits or new event art or anything. But she just answered back in English that she wants to draw Shimiko more, but she doesn't know yet when she gets to do it. Like, she is busy with other work right now. But yeah, it was still nice that I got to ask it, and thank you for the interpreter for translating to Japanese for me. My Japanese is not that good. The girl who was doing the sketches, she actually spoke a little bit of Japanese and was able to ask her question in Japanese, so yeah, jealous of that, but it was still all good. One of the other topics during the Q&A was food recommendations, and of course fish and chips was mentioned. And she also said that a lot of how many handsome British guys there are, like everyone is an ikemen, and turns out, I didn't know that before the panel, she calls her fans boyfriends. So that's a bit strange, but you know, if they're all in on the joke, then sure, why not? But yeah, it was a nice little panel. I had to leave early to make sure I meet up with the rest, but before I went to the panel itself, I had some time because, you know, we were Latin at 11 and this started later on. I did have time to pick up my, one of the merches. So, I think I mentioned V Royale before. This is a card game, not to be confused with V Card. This is from Astraline, Meriwether's company, and the packs are distributed through Cow Entertainment. They do other merch for Astraline and a whole bunch of other B2Verts as well. And they had an offer where you could pre-order a box or multiple boxes if you wanted to, and you could pick it up at VExpo, and that seemed like a very good offer because I wanted V Royale cards for a while, but unfortunately, due to some ridiculous shipping costs, I decided to go against it. Like, I almost had to pay double to get it shipped to me, so I was like, no thank you, I'll find another way, hopefully at a convention. And sure enough, there was this option, and don't worry, I will open it. In fact, it has been opened already because I just couldn't wait. However, I asked my friends, I asked everyone in the group to open at least one pack and help out. But don't worry, I will still show off the cards. Funny story about the box though, that at the airport, at the security check when I was leaving Birmingham, they actually stopped my baggage, and one of the security guys said, okay, you seem to have some kind of card game in your bag, and I mean, yes, I do. I'm gonna need to open it, and okay, sure. And he took out the box from the bag and, I don't know, had some kind of gizmo, some kind of scanner around it, and you know, he scanned it with that gizmo, and then I don't know what he was actually checking for, but maybe they wanted to make sure I'm not smuggling goods or something. But yeah, whatever test he was doing, it came back negative, and thankfully I was able to keep it. I would have been very sad if I weren't. But yeah, let me show you what's inside. Hold on, menu. So yeah, as part of the promo for VExpo, if you pre-ordered a box of V Royale, you also got these nice little sleeves as a bonus, and you can see that it features, hang on, move the camera by accident. It features the members of Astraline. You have one of the newest members, Beatrice Buford, Alfie, Lumi at the top, and I believe at the bottom you have, well, some of them are ex-members now or affiliates. You have, oh, hang on. You have Nick Nocturne. He graduated. You have Mary, of course, and quite recently Frederick Knudsen also, well, he retired from VTubing and streaming, but he still remains an affiliate of Astraline, so he's not completely gone like Nick, but yeah, sadly. Logitech C92, I'm not 100% sure, I think it's C922. 9, an extra, so instead of 0 there's a 2 at the end, so yeah, you got it right. But yeah, I have these very nice sleeves, so yeah. Let me reveal the cards. I think if I do it this way, that works out best. So, I ordered them neatly by card type and character. And I can already see that it's gonna be an issue with focusing here, but yeah, this one is Your Place or Mine, an event with the VTuber character in Vane, and you know, there's plenty of fan service in these. You can see him in a summer outfit. I admit I don't know a lot of these VTubers who are in it, but like, I will at some point get into the card game itself and explain how it works. We also have Revelation Anxiety featuring Fredrik Knudsen. We have Sweet Release featuring Mimcubus. Oh, this one focused, good. I'll get the hang of this eventually. So there are 5 cards per pack and 10 cards inside, so 15 total. I got some bonus ones, but gave away a few, and so yeah, there's not gonna be exactly 50. This one is Macro Transaction featuring a VTuber called OK Code. Some of these artworks are just artworks of the VTubers that did it before. This one is Jim Spotter, a card featuring Fredrik Knudsen, and I believe the guy right here is Mary in his furry form. And I remember Rachel saying that Nick looks like a total twink, but I may have misunderstood that maybe she was actually referring to Mary, but yeah. I don't know, what's your opinion? I wouldn't know exactly what appearance truly counts as a twink or bear or whatever other categories are in the LGBT community. Up to the right one of this card. Okay, right. So I think then she meant Mary, not Nick himself. Got it. Okay, we have DDoS Attack. This is a highlight card, which is the spell card in... yeah, the one Nick holds, exactly. This is a highlight card, otherwise known as a spell card in other games. I think Mary actually has a model that is officially known as Twink Mary. But yeah, we have Redebut, which is pretty much the Monster Reborn of V Royale. Let me read the fact. Return one non-leader character from your graduation zone, the graveyard, to the stage, to the field. You may apply any effect as if the character had debuted, had been summoned. So yeah. This one is Sponsored Stream, which is kinda like Monster Reborn, except it puts your it puts the character from the graveyard into the resource zone instead of to the field. Then we have, actually didn't get a lot of duplicates, which is quite nice. I mainly got the cards for collection, but might be lucky enough to actually play the physical card game. I plan to play the virtual one through Steam at some point. So yeah, new outfit debut. This one is search your roster, so your deck, for a non-character and reveal it, add it to your hand and shuffle your roster. So very good. It searches your deck. You know that card search is always good to have. We also have Wanna Collab, a highlight spell card, which targets one non-leader character on your opponent's stage. Gain control of that character until the end of this turn. It's pretty much a mind control, a change of heart. Whatever other mind control cards exist in in Magic the Gathering. Yeah, a lot of these spell cards, or highlights they are called in this game, they are in fact chibi art. 2-day ban. I actually have 2 copies of this, funny enough. And yeah. Oh, now I realize why Mao could guess the camera type, because it's reflected in the in the sleeve. Yeah, I see now. Okay, got it. Yeah, 2-day ban. You basically remove the character until the start of your next turn. So that's why it's 2-day ban, because it's not a permanent ban. I actually have 2 copies of this. Okay, and this, I think yeah, this is still a spell card, but some of them feature character art. This is called Unravel, and I'm not gonna read the whole effect because it's very long, but it features Diariku, who you may be familiar with, and I actually met her at TwitchCon Europe last year. You could recognize the 2 blue lights in the lens, yeah. Got it. But yeah, funny thing, Dia was pretty sneaky, or I guess she's a player or a smart businesswoman. She made herself be featured both on V card and V Royale. I'm not familiar with all of her cards, but yeah, she made sure she's in pretty much every card game. Also, VExpo had this card game called Oshi Push, like Oshi. Let me write it down. Oshi Push, which I didn't. Yeah, covering all her bases. Yeah, which I don't know much about, and I also didn't check out myself. But it's kind of like the same concept: card game mechanics with VTubers. It's not exactly a unique idea to V card or V Royale, but yeah. So we have a Frederick Knudsen spell card here, Returnal Song. This is another Monster Reborn, except... Hang on. What's the difference between this and Redebut? Target non-leader from your graduation zone to the stage. Return one non-leader character from a target. Oh, okay, so Returner Song is actually... Let me see, that's why it costs 5 stars compared to 4 stars of Redebut. This is the true Monster Reborn, because it can get you a character from any player, not just yours, while Redebut is for your own graveyard only. Returner Song is for both. Yes, exactly. We have yet another. Frederick is featured in a lot of these highlight cards. Your ways are known to me. And this is basically... Look at the top 5 cards of the target manager's roster. You choose one non-leader card among them and send it to the graduation zone. Then put the remaining cards to the top of the manager's roster in any order. Okay. So you can target yourself or the opponent. And I believe there are formats where you can go 2 versus 2. So you have an allied player and you're facing 2 opponents, like a tag duel, so to speak. And yeah, you get rid of 1 card and you get information about the next upcoming cards. Right, we have, I believe this is my last highlight card. This one is featuring Alfilda, and this is pretty straightforward. It's called Lightning Rains, and you deal 2 damage to a target character or manager. Manager being the name of the player in this game. It's either direct damage to the life points or to the character. Okay, and I was correct. We are now at the character cards. So characters are the monsters in this game. This one features porcelain maid, and it's called Spring Control. And I didn't explain it before, but you see that you have the cost here on this side. This right here is how many stars or how much mana it provides, but if it's put into the mana zone. It's not called mana. I'll become more familiar with the terms later, but yeah. So if you put a card like upside down like this, and you look at these stars, that's how much mana you get from the card. And yeah, up here you have the attack value of a character, and then over here you have the HP. So 4 attack, 2 HP character. We have Frederick again. 1 rep max, a Nick Nocturne character. 2 attack and 3 HP, but he is 3 cost and has a... I think pretty much, like, there are no vanilla characters out there. Pretty much every character has an effect. Looks like that was my only Nick Nocturne character though, but he is featured in other cards, just you wait. We have Daisy Chain, a character of Bipsy. I admit I'm not familiar with Bipsy. She seems to be all about dealing direct damage whenever attacking. Oh, this one is kind of spicy. Hopefully not too spicy for Twitch. Double or Nothing featuring OK Code. And a very revealing, I think, pajama outfit. Let me see if we can focus on it. Come on. I want to show the goods. Okay, well, good enough. Maybe best if it's blurry, but yeah. On debut, so when summoned, initiate a game of rock, paper, scissors with your opponent. If you win, Double or Nothing gains +3/+3. If you lose, graduate Double or Nothing. Damn. Yeah. So she's a 3 attack, 3 HP character, and if you win the rock, paper, scissors, then it becomes +6/+6. And graduating means that you put your character to the graveyard, to the graduation zone. So yeah, either you get a 6/6 or you just automatically lose your monsters. So you better not lose that rock, paper, scissors game. Okay, here is another character card featuring OK Code. This one is called Multiple, and okay, this is about searching your deck, but you have to pay life points or sanity. And here we are moving on to another VTuber. This one is called Bobina Hina, featuring Hina Bobina. And very nice kimono-like outfit. Costs only 1, but also only has one attack and 1 HP, but I'm sure the effect is worth it, because it says at the start of your turn, add a tongue-tied counter to the Bobin's Hina, or Bobina Hina. You must quickly say... Okay, so some of these effects are pretty funny. Like you have rock, paper, scissors, and this one says, at the start of your turn, add a tongue-tied counter to Bobina Hina. You must quickly say Hina Bobina once for each counter on it without pausing between or fumbling it. If you fail to do so, graduate Bobina Hina. Bobina Hina gains +1/+1 for every counter on it. Okay. So wait, at the start of your turn, first time, okay. Okay, so the first time you have to say Hinabobina quickly one time, then Hinabobina, Hinabobina, then the third turn you have to say 3 times Hinabobina, 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 and yeah, if you pause or you fumble, then yes. If you discard it, remove case to play it. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they had something like that. And we have another Hinabobina card, but this one features a different outfit of hers, but still some very nice cleavage on it. Captain Regret. And this one says, if Captain Regret is graduated due to an opponent's attack or effect, send one of the opponent's star cards to their graduation zone. Very nice, because when it dies or graduates in this card game, it will also disrupt the opponent. Like they get to lose a mana card. Oh, and seems like I have quite a few of Hinabobina, because this is yet another... What's this, the third? Yeah. The third Hinabobina character card. This one is called Obliviate. And this one says, when Obliviate debuts, it cannot be graduated as a result of combat or card effects until the start of your next turn. Ooh, that's very good. It basically gains Divine Shield or immunity, although only temporarily. And it does have 4 attack and 2 HP, so yeah. Very good. Both for blocking and attacking. Alright, moving on to another character now. Hasher Brown. The name does sound familiar, but I'm not familiar with his content. This one's called Pack Herder. Gotta love his art though. Hi, that's a Harry Potter spell. Really? Okay. Oh yeah, Obliviate, it is, totally. Okay. Then we have Nesting Season, which I think is almost the same artwork, except, you know, one has a different pose of the arm compared to the other. When Nesting Season debuts, commission 2 egg asset tokens. Okay, because nesting, I get it. Asset tokens cannot attack or defend and are not counted as characters. Okay, so I believe Hasher Brown is all about summoning egg tokens and gaining benefits from it. Breeding Season. I like the face that he makes here. Whenever you draw a card, commission 1 egg asset token. And yeah, asset tokens cannot attack or defend, are not counted as characters. So yeah, even more tokens on the field. Alright, and here we go to Amedol. Perfectly Normal Girl. When Perfectly Normal Girl enters the stage, return a target highlight card from your graduation zone to your hand. Oh, now it makes sense why they had to nerf some of the spell cards, because you could recycle them. Okay, graduate Perfect Normal Girl, search your graduation zone for a Nanotech activate character card and place it to your stage. You may activate this ability only once per turn. Ooh, nice, so it can exchange for another card, and I believe actually I'm gonna go ahead and search for it. Yeah, there we go. So, Perfectly Normal Girl can evolve into Nanotech Activate. Very nice artwork. Like a cyber outfit of Amedol. When Nanotech Activate enters the stage, it gains +2/+2 and Raid until the end of your turn. Raid means any excess damage is dealt to the defending character's manager. Graduate Nanotech Activate, search your graduation zone for your Perfectly Normal Catgirl character and place it on the stage. You may activate its ability only once per turn. So it actually goes back into Perfectly Normal Girl. Oh, I'm actually lucky that I got both cards then, because they work quite nicely together. But I do have a third Amedol character as well, called Cat Revisitation. And this one says, when Cat Revisitation debuts, search your roster for any card whose name contains Amedol, so any of these. Reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your roster. Alright. Now we're moving on to Mimcubus. Weight off your shoulder. When weight of your shoulder graduates, you gain 3 sanity. So sanity is your HP, and you have a maximum of 20. So I don't know if you can go over your 20 maximum. I need to check the rules on that. But yeah, it's nice that there are healing cards as well. And she has pretty decent stats. Like for 3 costs, you have 3/3, and you heal for 3. So yeah. And yeah, very nice style too. Oh, you might like this even more then. Belated gratification. A somewhat more risque outfit, but I'm pretty sure still within TOS. This one says, when belated gratification graduates, draw 1 card. Okay, so she's all about gaining effects when she dies, so yeah. Somewhat more safe for work, and also with glasses, we have Pain Drain from Incubus. She only has 1 attack, but has 4 HP. And this one says, when Pain Drain takes damage, you gain that amount of sanity. Moderator 2. Moderator means that this character can block up to X enemy characters, must block unblocked attackers if able and cannot attack. So yeah, just like in Magic the Gathering, there are monsters or characters that only block, but I believe normally you can only block once, but if it has the effect Moderator 2 or Moderator X, whatever the amount, it can block multiple times. So yeah, that's why it's good that she has 4 HP, and she can yeah, she can basically heal you for... At worst, she will heal you for 4, but she can heal you for more than that, because let's say she survives the first attack and takes 3 damage, you gain 3 health, and then the opponent may be forced to push through with another monster that also has 3 attack, and I'm pretty sure that the extra damage is also dealt as healing to you. So yeah, you basically will gain 6 health, and you blocked damage at the same time. So yeah, very good defensive character. But yeah, looks like that was the last Mimcubus card. Now we have more in-vein cards, but this time characters. This one is called Vanity. If it would focus, you could actually see that. Yes, there we go. So when Vanity debuts, its controller gains 4 sanity. When Vanity graduates, its controller loses 4 sanity. Ooh. So you win some, you lose some. I believe there are strategies that allow you to remove your cards and make them not go into the graduation zone, but into the deck or into a banish zone called... Won't focus these can summon. Ah, okay, got it. Thank you for letting me know, Mao. So yeah, there are strategies where you can avoid the damage by not graduating the character but bouncing it back or banishing it, which is called hiatus in this. Okay, we also have mission time. I think it still needs some kind of proper background. Like I've seen people put their hands behind. I don't know what else needs to be done for it to focus, to trigger the focus. But anyway, I'll just read it for you. Mission time. When mission time debuts, choose a target non-leader character. You gain control of that character as long as you control mission time. Whoa, that's very nice. But it does cost 4 stars rather than most of the characters that only cost 1, 2, or 3. But yeah, taking control of an enemy character, that sounds quite nice. Need milk. And he has a cute little cow on him. Oh, there we go. Now it focused instantly, even though I put it in the exact same spot. So yeah, Need Milk. When Need Milk debuts, commission 1 Bull Milk asset token. Oh, here we go, more funny facts. When Bull Milk is assigned to a character, that character gains +1/+1. When that character graduates, remove this token. Okay. So basically it gives your other characters a +1/+1 buff. Milk always, yes. Alright, and now we have arrived at actual Astraline VTubers. Raise the Fallen, a card featuring Alfhilda Odinsdottir. Okay, come on. Anyway, the effect is that when this enters the stage, commission 2 Lightning Asset tokens. And Lightning Asset tokens come into play with the other cards. You will see, I actually pulled one of those. This one is Thunder Clouds Grow. It's actually her Dark Valkyrie outfit, which I think she still uses. It's her latest model. When Thunder Clouds attacks, commission 1 Lightning Asset token. There we go. Now these two are actually bonus cards that are convention only. One of them was actually first released at VExpo, but it made it over here too. These are pretty much just character tokens. Yeah, there are tokens. They are to be used as tokens, and yeah. Ina Nakamu. Yeah, cow skin outfit. Very nice looking. Love how she's also holding holding some V-Royal cards in her hand. I think this may be a reference to one of the staff members of Kawa Entertainment, the ones who handled the sale of V-Royal. Very popular recently, yeah. Alright, and here we have saved the best for the last. I'm actually gonna take at least one of these out of the sleeves. So this is a Merryweather card, Summon the Dog Army. And you might notice something over here. It's signed. Now it didn't come like this. I will get to that actually later on. Mary and Lumi were there in person, and they did a meet and greet and signing at the Kawa booth, and I thought, you know what? Let's get their character cards signed. So that's what I did with all of Mary's and Lumi's character cards. Alfie, unfortunately, was not there in person this year. She was there last year though, so I couldn't get her to sign hers, but it's all good. Might get a chance next year or at another convention. So yeah, Sorceress Locution. Plot progression, the Plinsley outfit of Mary. Yeah, might be able to, but on the other hand, I think I'll just wanna do VExpo was a girl with part, but because we made fit sounds, yeah. But yeah, now we have arrived at the Lumi cards. Comfy Kigurumi. Kigurumi is this onesie. I believe that's like the word for the Japanese onesies, and this is one of the outfits of Lumi, and you can see her signature right here. Must be really moving it, yeah. One thing that makes this card even more valuable is that they made an errata of this, but they haven't printed the erratas yet, but in the digital format they have changed it. So this card says, when Comfy Kigurumi debuts, discard one card from your hand, commission Mr. Finland a 1/9 So 1 attack 9 HP character token with moderator 5. So it can block up to 5 enemies and it has 9 HP. And the thing is, they actually nerfed it because it turns out that the 1-9 token is too strong, and the latest text says that it's actually a 1-5 now. So they nerfed Mr. Finland's HP by quite a bit. By the way, her onesie actually features the appearance of Mr. Finland, like that's her mascot. Okay, here we have her blueberry outfit, very nice looking, blueberry camisole. Come on, show it. Don't be prude. Camera. Anyway, this one says, when Blueberry Camisole attacks for the first time in a turn, untilted. He may declare an additional attack with Blueberry Camisole this combat phase. Ooh, very nice. Especially if combined with buffs from other cards that we have seen before. And there's one big buff card that I haven't revealed yet. But yeah, this is also signed. She actually signed each card in a different spot. This is her standard latest outfit, Wolf Next Door. Pretty strong, 5 attack, 3 HP, but it does cost 4. And she simply has the raid keyword, which means that she deals piercing damage. So any excess damage is dealt to the defending character's manager. Again, very good with if you can buff her even further. Alright, and now we have arrived at the foils. Pop art in the art area, yeah. Exactly. We pull this one out first. We have Bifrost's Embrace. This is actually an Alfie card, but it does feature Lumi as well, as you can see. I remember when I already told the others this story, but I remember when Alfie first posted this artwork on Twitter, she included the question, who's been a bad girl? And Lumi immediately replied to that post saying, me, it's me. And yeah, it's quite spicy. She is apparently whipping Lumi, and it's kind of implied that Lumi is topless. Like, you can see the back of her clothes, but she's handcuffed, and Rachel pointed out that Lumi is definitely topless because you can kind of see how the breast is sagging a bit, but yeah. I also remember that one of the other first comments on that post was like, Alfie, it's 7 AM, you can't post things like that at this hour, I can't be thinking about this stuff, and Alfie just replied, what do you mean? It's the perfect time to be thinking about this kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know how well you can see it, but it does have a nice foil effect on it. It's an SR card, and it's also my first leader card. Now, leaders are basically like characters, but you can only have a limited amount of them at a time, and they cost a lot more, and have powerful effects, and have very good cards too. So this one says, all characters on the stage gain the subtitle Odin's Daughter. If you have at least one lightning token on stage, all your Odin's Daughter characters gains +1/+0, and the Alfie character cards actually generate these lightning tokens. Remove one lightning essence token, deal 3 raid damage to the target character. You may activate this ability only once per turn. So you have to be strategic with your tokens. You either keep it on the field to buff your characters or deal damage with it. So yeah, very nice, and this was actually one of the cards that I was hoping to pull, and yeah, I love how Lumi signed this card right on Alfie's cleavage. I'm pretty sure she did that intentionally. And who knows, if if I meet Alfie at the next con, I definitely will ask her to sign this card as well, because, you know, to be fair, it's her card series and it features her as well, so it would make sense that both of them sign it, right? So yeah, this one I pulled myself. I remember it was actually in one of the first packs that I opened, so I was very happy about it. Next card. Let me take this out as well so you can see, is a Amedol card, Necropolitan Catgirl. And I love the artwork on this one because the shiny effects are especially noticeable if it would just focus. They are especially noticeable on these. They're like different. I think the camera doesn't fully do justice, but you can kind of see how the different writings glow as you move it around. I think all of the leader cards are SR, like super rare cards. And this one, of course, synergizes, like leader cards, of course, synergize with the character cards that have the same name. So this one says, while Necropolitan Catgirl is on the stage, all of your other characters whose names contain Amedol gain +3/+2. When a character is returned from your graduation zone to your hand or on the stage, Necropolitan Catgirl gains +3/+2 and raid until the end of your turn. So yeah, they already are pretty strong characters, but she buffs them even more, and basically when a character is returned from a graduation zone to your hand, that's basically what the Nanotech card does, I believe. Yeah, so imagine it's the big buff card. So imagine, okay, you have perfectly normal Catgirl. You use its effect to send it to the graveyard, and yes. Zone for search your. Okay, so they have to be in the graveyard first. So let's say Nanotech Activate is in the graveyard, you play perfectly normal Catgirl, you use her effect to graduate it and bring out Nanotech Activate instead. And at that point, one of the effects of Necropolitan Catgirl activates and she gains +3/+2. And also because Necropolitan Catgirl is on the center stage, Nanotech becomes from a 4/2 or changes from a 4/2 into a 7/4 card. So yeah, very good combo. And then you can use Nanotech's effect to go back into the graduation zone and bring back perfect normal Catgirl. So you can kind of course there's a once per turn limit on it, but you can kind of cycle in between these two. So yeah, pretty good effect, I would say. They just need to survive, of course. They need to survive the opponent's turn in order to pull this off. Oh, never mind, this is already sleeve. What am I doing? Need to put this one back into its sleeve. So yeah, very happy with that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use this. You can only have 2 leader cards in your deck, and I'm pretty sure this will be one of them. The other one, of course, has to be Bifrost Embrace, because, you know, it has Lumi in it. And it's also pretty strong on its own, like 8/8 is very good. And the last one, and my most valuable card and luckiest pull, is this. This is an SSR, a special super rare, and it is signed. So each VTuber that has the leader card also has a signed variant. The topless Nick, exactly. This one is called Night's Mindfulness, but Hang on, let me hydrate. Yeah, very cool looking, and guess what? Not only is this a signed card, not only does it feature a VTuber who since graduated from Astra Line, but this is also a card that got an errata. And this is the original effect print on it. It's not a... I had to read it 5 times because I didn't understand what they changed in the errata, but basically it's one word, but it's a significant difference. So it says send the top 5 cards of your roster, your deck, to your graduation zone. All your characters gain +1/+0 for every manager with a revealed hand until the end of your turn. Now, the errata says instead of until the end of your turn, it says until the end of the turn. So basically, I don't know if this is just a clarification or you can actually use the effect on your opponent's turn and then the buff lasts 1 turn less. But yeah, you can activate this ability only once per turn. But yeah, I think you can still do it and at your opponent's turn. The difference is that before... Hang on. Before, you had... you could activate the effect and then it would last basically 2 turns. Now, it only lasts 1 turn. So you could make it last 2 turns by... Yeah, you could last it 2 turns if you activated it during your opponent's turn, and then you would have it again. And now, if it only lasts 1 single turn, whether you activate it on your turn or another player's turn. I will need to double check the rulings, but I'm pretty sure you can still use it on the opponent's turn. But yeah, this card, I can thank Rachel for it because she opened the pack that contained it, and she's like, hey, this card is signed. And I remember Yuri flipping out like, of course Rachel pulled it, of course. Everything just lands into her lap. She was joking, of course, but yeah. She was a bit crashing out because it was Rachel who pulled the rarest card out of all. But yeah, I did give away 1 Nick Nocturne card to Neo and 1 Op Katy Cat card to Yuri. And I think that's it. The rest I kept for myself. But yeah, these are my pulls, and I was flexing it on the official Discord of V Royale. But yeah, there's actually 1 more pack. Might as well just show it now, but I'll provide some more context for it later. So there was an event on Sunday where you could win card packs if you survived the quiz event, and I won the first round. I was one of the winners of the first round, and that gave me this extra pack. Fortunately, there were no... I opened this one already too. There are no foils on this one, but I did get some cards that I didn't get in the box yet. So for the sake of collection, it's nice. So we have Summon the Dog Army. I had that before in the box. A Merryweather card. This one is not signed though. We have another highlight card featuring Frederick Knudsen, and I realized that Frederick is in a lot of spell cards. Choose a non-leader character or asset on stage, commission a token that is a copy of the target under your control. So very good, like imagine duplicating an Amedol card or Lumi or another powerful character. Then we have Demonic Presence. I think I got a copy of this in the box as well, and this and that one is now in Neo's possession. When demonic presence enter the stage, hiatus the target non-leader character, asset, or event. When demonic presence leave the stage, return the card on hiatus the stage. So very good. It's very powerful, and it only costs like 2 stars, and it can remove an opponent's card even if it's just temporarily. But yeah, it is in fact a very nice, fancy outfit. And next are Ope Katy Cat cards, who was actually at a concert, but that I will talk about later. And I admit I didn't know much about Obe Katy Cat before this, but yeah, Deathcore Superstar. 1/1 character, but it has the effect where if you tilt it, so instead of attacking and tilting it, you can just tilt it right away. It adds 2 stars to your star pool, so can be very good in certain strategies. And last but not least, we have Head of the Curse, a more demonic form of Katy Cat. I remember during one of her songs, they were playing a music video that featured this form of hers, so yeah. Very menacing, but pretty simple and good effect. When a Head of the Curse debuts, you draw a card. And I guess that's why it costs 3 mana and only has 2 attack and 2 HP. But yeah, card draw, card search, very good. I have the feeling I would add her to my deck when I build it, so yeah. Very satisfied with those pools. Let me see. I'm thinking right now, because it's very late and it's a late night stream, I will actually split this stream into 2 because I have more to talk about and I don't think I will be able to stay awake for all of it, and neither would you guys. So I'm gonna make a part 2. Wait, let me check. I think I haven't planned anything for tomorrow, so I could do a part 2 tomorrow. Yeah, Thursday I have the Pokemon, and yeah. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna have a part 2 on Wednesday, but we're gonna be going on for a little longer. I think right now I'm just gonna show you some more pictures and show you some more merch, and tomorrow I will continue with my story. Does that sound good? Let me just put on the hand cam for a bit. It might be a good thing because it gives me some extra time to maybe look for some more pictures. Yuri hasn't sent her pictures yet on our group Discord. She is busy with stuff, so yeah. Like all of these pictures are mine, Dragon's, Rachel's, or Neo's. So yeah, I think it's good that we get some extra time. Oh, I haven't played this video yet. I wonder what this one is about. Or no, never mind. I played it. Yeah, this is the idol who was there in person at the opening concert. Which reminds me, I should probably stop the background music for the videos. There we go. So some more of my pictures. This is, I believe, from the indie concert. No, it's either the indie concert or the premium concert. Let me check the other. Yeah, this one is from the indie concert. This one should be, or is it the same people? Let me check. No, both are from the premium concert. So this one, I forgot her name. I only knew the last performer. So at the end of the day on Saturday, you had the so-called premium concert for which you needed a separate £6 ticket. And that was also on a first come, first served basis, so you needed to be fast. I remember us talking in group chat beforehand to make sure we don't miss this one out compared to the opening concert. And thankfully, all of us uh, got a ticket for it. And yeah, totally worth it. So they actually like there was another concert, an indie concert before this at the end of the day, and then VExpo day one ended, and there was like a half an hour wait during which you queued up, and then you were let into the event again. But that's unfortunately that too was delayed a bit. Like the indie concert was pushed back a bit. The premium concert, it was called Idol Anarchy, was also pushed back to a little later. I believe it was. I don't want to lie. It was it's supposed to start. It was supposed to start at 9 p.m., but it started a bit later, and it was nearly midnight by the time it was finished. But the big surprise, or I don't know if it was surprised, it was actually a surprise, and I just didn't follow the news. But Katie Cat herself was on the stage, like physically, and at the back they played the music videos with her VTuber models. So yeah, I knew that Katie Cat would have in-person meet and greets, but I didn't know she would also perform herself. So yeah, it was quite an experience, wasn't it, Dragon? So yeah, uh, everyone was standing up, like she ushered everyone to stand up because in the concert hall there were chairs, so for most of the performances people could sit down, but Katie Cat was like, nope, stand up, wave those pen lights and bang your heads and all that. Okay, let me see. The Tashas, these I have already shown. Bit disorganized, I know. Oh, here's one section that I haven't shown for sure. Hang on, let me double check something. I think I forgot to censor some faces here before I zoom in. No, we are good. I was wrong. Okay, no, we're good. I was just worried. Oh yeah, her birthday, I believe she did mention during the concert that her birthday was today or the 9th of September, exactly. Same as my mother's birthday. Nice. Um, Here we go. These are from the Hololive meetup, and this is me in cosplay as a secretary in front of the concert hall. Can kind of see the ears, but I guess because I was raising my head, you can't really see the ears, but trust me, they are there. And I made a picture. I wanted a picture with Rachel specifically. She said she was okay with showing her face. I mean, she shows it on her social media. She was dressed on Saturday as Ririka. I don't sure if you're familiar with that Hololive Japanese VTuber. And Ririka and Zeta are actually friends, and so yeah, it was a happy coincidence that I think she dressed as Ririka on Yuri's behest because you know it's um, It's a relatively easy cosplay to put together. She did put some work into the skirt, like those L symbols on it and all that, and the coat. And she was actually rewarded. Like, she didn't know much about, like, Rachel was completely new to this whole VTuber world and these anime conventions, but she noticed that someone at the Hololive meet was actually holding a plushie of Riri-chan. She's like, "Oh, that's me!" And yeah, she asked me to take a picture of it. And speaking of the Hololive meet, this is a picture of all four of us in cosplay: Neo as Gigi, myself as Secretary, Rachel as Riri-chan, and Yuri as Rap Battle Carrie. She was going as both. She was on Saturday. She was dressed as Riri-chan. On Sunday, she was dressed as Korone, which I don't think I have a picture of yet, but I'll look into it. This is. Hang on. I believe this is a picture with some random con goers. They had another Gigi, so they asked Neil to join them as well. I love all the poses that they are making. I don't know these people, but you know, out of respect, I censored their faces too. So yeah, I think we had the better Gigi though. I think this was pretty much the Holo Justice picture because we had someone cosplaying Elizabeth Rosebud fame Herb, and then we had Gigi's. Actually, didn't have Cecilia, but I forgot. Nerissa is not actually part of. She's part of Advent, not Justice. So yeah, but 3 out of 3 out of 5, not bad. Or is it 3 out of 4? I forgot. Justice is Cecilia, Gigi, Elizabeth, Raura. Wasn't there 5 of them? Who's the 5th person I'm forgetting right now? Gigi, Cecilia, Cici, Gigi, Elizabeth, Raura. Hang on, need to double check real quick to make a fool out of myself. All alive, justice. It may be just 4 of them, but I could be wrong. Okay, it's 4 of them. Okay, so 3 out of 4. Not a bad ratio. Good. So yeah, these are the pictures. I will have some more for tomorrow. And of course, some of them I won't post because they seem a bit too personal and maybe not really relevant to the con. So yeah, but I think I might post some more group pictures tomorrow and some more in general about the con. But yeah, let me put the music back on now, and before we call it a night, I will show you some more merch, but I will leave some for tomorrow as well, don't worry. And I also have some Twitter pages, posts, and whatnot prepared. Let me see. Webcam on. Okay, so everyone participating at VExpo got one of these, the VExpo 2025 passport. There was one for last year as well. And this one pretty much... Wait, why did the music not start? Hang on. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this is the preface of it. On the left it reads Collie Wool Chaser, the official mascot of VExpo. and the VTuber herself, invites all VTuber fans in good faith to attend VExpo 2025 at Hall 10 of NEC Birmingham. Let all who attend share joy of their fandoms and Oshis. And on the next page, just like a real passport, you could put a passport photo. And Neo was nice enough to make a doodle of all of us on like a sticker, and yeah, we all had our own photos actually on the passport thanks to him. And yeah, you could write down your name. Last year I believe there was a field for your Oshi, but they omitted it this time, and they just have like a signature area there. And yeah, at the bottom it just says VTuber Expo 2025 NEC Birmingham, United Kingdom, welcome to Expo 2025. And then the next pages, they are like these memory pages. You could put whatever you wanted in it. Dragon asked all of us to write a short message. I mostly put stickers and signatures, autographs into it. On this side you can see this is one of the random free stickers you could get at the Maid Cafe, and of course it features Mint Phantom because they were doing a collab with her. This one is a sticker of Tori Taiga, one of the maids at the Maids of England Maid Cafe. Fun fact, Maids of England, if shortened, actually reads out Moe, so yeah, it was an intentional one. The letters are pretty small, so let me read it out. Gao Day, you met Tori Taiga at VExpo. Please enjoy these British streets and tea. See you again soon. At Tori Taiga, please be... Oh, this is really small. Please be mindful for allergies and food requirements. There you go. So Tori Taiga was nice enough to offer a free treat bag to everyone who poked me every time she said oh yeah, because you were sitting like at the side of the table and close to the entrance, and that's where Tori Tiger would be. But yeah, she was nice. She had a free goodie bag for all masters, all clients. Actually, you didn't need to enter the cafe itself. If you just came up to her and asked about the free goodie bag, you would get it. But it was in limited quantity and you had to be outside of the UK. So I had some Mawams and Yorkshire tea, and I think... Hang on, let me get it real quick. Yeah, it was very good. Dragon got one too, I remember. Yeah, this is the nice little bag that came in it, so you had the sticker in it and the goodies, so yeah. Can come in handy later. Would be a shame to throw such a nice little satchel away, right? So yeah, on this page I have the autographs of Lumi and Mary, both. Now, let me give you some explanation, some context on what Zamol is. So, before I became a VTuber, I used the... Oh, hang on. I used the username Zamoxis. Now this comes from the name of a Dacian. Dacians are basically Proto-Romanians, and their main deity is called Zamoxis. I know a bit vain of me to have the name of a god for myself, and this was later shortened to Zamol because while I was watching a VTuber named L_XOX a lot of us who were in her community changed our usernames to have underscore XOX at the end. And because a lot of people were having trouble pronouncing this name, I ended up L underscore. Damn, I walked right into that one. But yeah, I just shortened it to Zamol and then XOX, the XOX standing for hugs and kisses. And when I started watching Gloomy, she would just call me Zamol. And even though later on I stopped watching L underscore XOX, I just kept the username as it is because I ended up really liking Gloomy, and I've been a subscriber of hers for, I think, over 3 years now. I don't want to lie, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And hang on, I can actually double check. I'm gonna pull it up on a different website. Hang on. Okay, not quite 3 years yet, 2.5. Close enough. Couple of more months until the 3-year anniversary. So yeah. I decided to keep the name Zamol because now it had a positive memory, so yeah. She knows me as Zamol, and in fact, little story here, when I went for the autographs, she didn't recognize me at first because I was in cosplay, and I had to take the sunglasses off, and she's like, "Oh, Zamol!" And yeah, that's how she recognized me, and when she signed the autograph, she had the Zamol and the heart next to it, so yeah, very cute. But I was officially calling myself Ginkgo in other appearances. Let's see what's on these next pages. We have some stickers. Yeah, so first time I met Lumi was at Dokomi, then I met her again face to face last year's VExpo, and I think this is the third time we officially met. Last year was actually funny because it was through the official meet and greet of VExpo, and normally those meet and greets were like through screen, but she was there physically and I was surprised. Oh, okay, there we go. And even then she recognized me. I mean, yeah, she thanked me for, you know, always being a positive member of community and chatting, and she treasures the artwork that I commissioned of her, and yeah. As always, she had Finnish candy and some free Lumi stickers and goodies, which sadly I lost somewhere. I have no idea, it might turn out in like a faraway pocket somewhere, but I have no idea where those candies and stickers went. But I have other goods and memories of Lumi, like the part of the badge and the cards, so, and her signature, so it's all good. But anyway, whoops, I showed something else by accident, but yeah, this is Izuna from Blue Archive, and this one is Fubuki from Hololive. This one was actually a gift from Dragon, and I found the same. You may notice that it's the similar style, and actually found the vendor from where Dragon got the Fubuki sticker, and I got a couple of more. Konkon, of course, is the what does the fox say in Japanese, and if you look closely you can kind of see, hang on, you can kind of see that Fubuki is doing, which is both the heavy metal sign but also the fox hand gesture in Japanese, so yeah, because she's a fox girl, of course. Now the rest of the passport, I mean. I cannot actually show. Fubuki is actually gatekeeping the not safe for work ones, but I'll just describe it. So on the next page I have a sticker from Waifu Wears, the shaker that I'm keeping my water in right now. It came with a bonus sticker, and it has a rather risque art of a VTuber named Raku, who you can see their panties and a handprint on their exposed buttocks. To the right there is Ina's back, but not just Ina's back, side boob as well, and it's very clear that she is topless. And on the final two pages on the left I have Fuwawa and Mokoko because, yeah, they are a package deal. And the stickers were like something like 3 for 10 pounds. Cheaper than if I had just bought one or two, or, you know, piece by piece. So yeah, I got from the same vendor. I got Ina, Fuwawa and Mokoko, and I just have to say I think the artist took some artistic liberty and buffed Mokoko, because all the other artworks that I've seen, she is at least one top size smaller. But to be fair, I think he also buffed Fuwawa a bit, so it all averages out at the end. But I can show you the back of the passport. I put on some more stickers from the same guy from where I got the Izuna sticker and where Dragon got the Fubuki sticker from. I went from the 3 for cheaper special. Either it was 3 for cheaper or buy 2 get 1 free, one of those things. But yeah, it features 2 other twins who are more wholesome, Midori and Momoi, Blue Archive characters. Maybe familiar with it if you've seen me play the game. One says victory and the other says kuyashi. Kuyashi meaning cruel or disappointed at defeat. And yeah, whenever one of them uses their ultimate abilities, it features them playing a game against each other and them getting angry because their sister won. So in Midori's ultimate, Momoi wins and Midori gets angry and ready to attack, and in Momoi's ultimate, Midori wins and Momoi gets ready to attack in anger. So yeah, very nice that I found. I think that was the only vendor I could find of Blue Archive. Well, the only one with safe of work Blue Archive stuff. Actually, may have been some more A4 prints elsewhere too, but I have certainly seen some doujins and spicy artworks involving Blue Archive characters, but I felt a bit uncomfortable getting those because, you know, they are supposed to be high school girls, so yeah. Okay, 2 more things that I will show you today, actually 3. One is a Made Mint exclusive keychain, charm, whatever you want it to be. And yeah, it has like this nice sparkling foil effect. I got it at the Maid Cafe. It was exclusive to this event. They wouldn't be selling them if you weren't supposed to buy them. Well, I don't know. It's probably okay, and they are probably like aged up in those not safe for work artworks, but still I just feel weird looking at naked Blue Archive characters. Anyway, yeah, that's Made Mint. This is a pen light that, hang on, let me see, let me make sure you guys can see it. This is a pen light that I got from Yuri. She purchased too many pen lights for the Edo concert, and she said she would give out the extras. So yeah, I actually got 2 pen lights from her, so I didn't need to buy one myself before the event or at the event. Though they did have some nice pen lights at VExpo too, but yeah, it can actually like switch colors. And I believe there's also a mode where it like randomizes the different colors, like it toggles between them, but I'm not sure how to activate that. Maybe if you just quickly switch between them. Oh, rainbow after violet. Okay. Hang on, which one was the violet again? Oh, there we go. That's the rainbow mode. And yeah, if you hold down the button, that actually turns the pen light off. So yeah, simple but nice. And last year I actually had to use my phone app to simulate a pen light, but I wanted to have the real thing for this year, so we were all chilling together at the concerts, which felt good. And last thing, it's actually not VExpo merch, but something of my own. I mean, you guys have already seen it. It's a keychain that I ordered of, well, the fox character that you see on the bottom right light now. Has a nice little star foil effect. Yeah, one day maybe official Ginkgo merch, but for now it was made just as a gift for friends. Everyone, of course, who we went to the con with, Neo, Raven, Yuri, Rachel, Dragon, received one. I asked the Strimton to give one to Lou and Matt as well, and yeah, one for Mao as well. It's gonna be arriving per post. I just need to discuss the details with Yuri and the gang. And I think I ordered 10 in total of this. So this is mine, and I have 3 more left. One I want to save for Mother Crow, who actually designed this cute little guy, and one more perhaps for Nana-chan if I ever get, hopefully when I get to Japan and visit her, you know, give it to her as a gift. And the last one, I don't know yet. It's just, I guess, a spare that I can give to someone else. But yeah, very cute, and I found it adorable that Neo, like, I could see it clearly on Neo's bag as a zipper, or at least the fanny pack. I think he had it on the fanny pack rather than the backpack, but yeah, could see the gang use it, which made me very happy. So yeah, it was my gift this year. Also the chips, which is gonna be a story for tomorrow, but yeah, the chips were certainly something else. Alright, well, thanks for listening to me so far. Sorry this dragged on longer than I expected, but yeah, in between covering all the different stories and showing all the stuff, I guess it is to be expected that it's longer than I thought. But yeah, I would say I have another good 2 hours to talk about tomorrow, maybe less, but yeah. Thank you for watching me today. As always, remember to take care of yourself and love each other. Know that you are appreciated. And I shall see you next time. Goodbye.